attacking me.
Namaskar and welcome to another episode of In Conversation. Now, today, very important event. Uh, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been killed. Now, not only Ayatollah Ali Khamenei who has been killed, his family, his daughter, his granddaughter, and his son-in-law, his daughter-in-law, his entire family, more or less, has been killed. Ayatollah Khomeini was killed in his office. One is not very clear till now as to where his family members were killed. So that's the first news. Secondly, Amir Nazir Zada, who was their defense minister, he too has been killed, and the head of their Revolutionary Guard, Mohammad Pakpor, he too has been killed. So, in a day's time, I think most of the top Iran top defense and political heads have been killed, including their supreme leader. Sir, what does this talk about? What does this say about the American power? What does this say about the Israeli power? And what does this say about where this world is headed to?
Well, thank you. Let's look at what has happened. Israel and America have very good intelligence, human and electronic, and it is possible that Mossad had bribed or otherwise influenced a certain number of Iranians. So that is why this has happened. And this is something which Mossad, the Israelis' IDF, has been planning for a long time, as they themselves said. So they have carried out what they call decapitation. But we should not exaggerate the importance thereof, because already a new IGRC head has been named, and it has also been announced that a successor to the departed supreme leader also will be announced soon. And I see that there is a lot of confusion in the Indian media, or not only in the Indian media, while using the phrase regime change. Regime change means there is a regime A and it is replaced by regime B. Then only it is regime change. If you just bring down a regime and the chaos follows, that is not regime change. Now, I agree that President Trump has been saying, Iranian people, now it is for you to choose. Well, the people are unarmed and they don't have a leader, and the regime is fairly well institutionalized and strong and has a degree of popular support. So regime change has not started. And in a vast country like Iran, 93 million, and look at the geographical size, and considering that America will never send the troops, boots on the ground to Iran, as it did foolishly, disastrously in the case of Iraq. And Israel also will not dare to send. So, what they have, it is true that they have been able to decapitate, but that is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of the beginning.
Sir, before I get into my next question, I want to show you a 30-second visual from what we got from Iran as we speak. This is the way people have come out on the streets to support or to kind of mourn what happened to their supreme leader. Now, sir, the point that I wanted to actually make, and I would want your opinion on this, is, see, end of the day, whether the regime is good, bad, whether he was right for the people or wrong for the people, this is something that I think Iranians should be deciding. I am kind of aghast as to how America all of a sudden has started deciding for the entire world. They did that in Venezuela. They are now doing it in Iran. And if you actually see the, I want to just take you through the whatever tweet or whatever he calls this, truth social or whatever that is called, sir. I don't know what is that called, but whatever where normally our man Mr. Donald Trump talks about. I'll just read out his tweet, and I'll try and put it on the screen too very soon. He says, and very ironically, one second. I'll just take you through.
Yeah, take your time.
It is no, it is. It was kind of very and so brazen. He says Iran has just started that they are going to hit very hard today. Iran has just stated that they are going to hit very hard today, harder than they have ever done before. They better not do that. However, because if they do, we will hit them with force that they have never seen before. Thank you for your attention in this matter. Sir, does it sound like a president or does it sound like a local goon? I mean, come on. Is this how on Twitter or whatever that's called, Truth Social or whatever, is that how presidents react? Is that how war cries are done? Is that how? I mean, sir, I need your inputs on this.
Well, it's a bit like the mafia don, you know. If you are going to hit me, well, beware. I can hit you harder, 100 times harder. That's the style of the mafia. And
Correct.
that is a style which President Trump has adopted. Well, unfortunately, we have to live with him. He's going to be there for a while, and we have to handle him as skillfully as we can.
Sir, I take you through one more visual which I just got, and then we will get into the conversation. This is the visual.
انا لله و انا الیه راجعون. ملت بزرگ ایران، روح بلند پیشوای ملت بزرگ ایران و پیشقراول امت اسلامی حضرت امام خامنه ای با نوشیدن شهد گوارای شهادت در ماه مبارک رمضان به ملکوت اعلا پیوست. شورای عالی امنیت ملی در این زمینه بیانیه‌ای به این شهر صادر کرده است.
This is them announcing Ayatollah Khomeini's death. This is them they announcing that Ayatollah Khomeini was killed. In fact, Trump announced it yesterday, but I mean late night yesterday. But the official this thing just came around 2-3 hours back. Sir, what is next for Iran?
Well, as I said earlier, decapitation is a serious matter, but that is not the end of the story. And I expect Iran to reconstitute itself. IRGC already reconstituted, as I said, and there will be a new supreme leader named. But my view is that it is IRGC which will be really controlling things. And of course, the president is there. And Iranians are not going to surrender. And they have struck Doha, that 7-star hotel
Yes,
in
yes,
Dubai. Now, I personally do not endorse, they're attacking a hotel. But
correct.
the thing is that we don't know whether they were targeting the hotel or they were targeting the nearby American airbase,
Yes,
and the drone or the missile was shot and then it fell on the hotel. We don't know.
correct.
But of course, Iran had made it very clear that if they are attacked, they will hit at American bases and all American interests, So, and of course, Israel must be very pleased that there is further divide between Iran and its Arab neighbors, because
Absolutely.
same Arab neighbors which were telling Trump, please don't do it. And you cannot use our soil, the air bases on our soil for it. But there I have a doubt. They may have told the Pentagon that you can't use it. But in practice, Pentagon may have used it. You know,
which is very clear, sir. In this entire case, I find this entire thing, very hypocritic. I'll tell you why. Because end of the day, which Islamic nation is supporting Iran today? I mean, people must have claimed, they must have made given sound bites, but who is supporting Iran today? Number one. So all this Palestine-Israel issue was just packed off when actually America started flexing its muscle. So end of the day, my question then, sir, what is this Islamic nation, the Union of Islamic Nation and all that? What new union are we talking about?
well, the Islamic world is divided, and as regards support, Iran has got support from Oman. Oman, which said, that diplomatic negotiations were going smoothly, and there was reason to believe that there will be a settlement.
Correct.
And still, America and Israel have attacked. Other Islamic nations, say you take Egypt. Egypt will take the line if the Gulf countries are not speaking for Iran. Why should they do it? You know what I mean? So you're
Correct.
quite right. There is no Islamic solidarity as we see now. There is none.
Correct.
Iran is practically alone. Practically.
Oh, it's absolutely alone, and the way the war is escalating, the way the attack is escalating. I won't say war. The way the attack is escalating, I think Iran will be over in a matter of a day or two. Maybe by Wednesday, Thursday, things, sir.
I do not expect that.
Mm.
As I said, it's a vast country, and uh, uh, you cannot capture a country by air war. You can only destroy it. You know what
Correct.
happened in Vietnam War.
Yes.
Americans are so powerful, remember?
Correct.
And then what happened? The American ambassador took a helicopter from the embassy balcony carrying the American flag, 1975.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't expect Iran to surrender. And this will go on for some time. But let us see if body bags start reaching United States, how Trump will behave. And don't forget, even now, he has the option. We have killed the supreme leader, an evil supreme leader, and now it is for the people of Iran to do what they want to do, and he can declare victory. Of course,
Correct.
Netanyahu would not like it. In fact, if you look at it in depth, it is Netanyahu's war which he has succeeded to rope in Trump.
Yes.
You know that yesterday there was to be a hearing on the corruption charges against Netanyahu.
Netanyahu. Yes, we spoke about it yesterday, if you
Yeah,
remember.
and that
Yes.
and that was cancelled or
Yes.
postponed.
Yes.
So it is Netanyahu's war which he has succeeded, and let us see. This is, as I said, this is only the beginning of the beginning. It's not the end of the story.
Sir, I understand what you're saying, and that's what almost a lot of experts across the globe says. But sir, you pardon my ignorance, but sir, tell me, if air raids destroy Iran, I understand. I mean, you can't capture a country, and that I don't think is the intention of United States to capture Iran either. But if air raids destroy Iran, what is left? Isn't it easy for then America to place there possibly the Shah of Iran as head of state, or somebody who is a proxy American leader as head of state, and run the country? Isn't that how it works? Isn't that how it worked in Venezuela?
No, Venezuela, what happened? It is the vice president who took over office,
Yeah,
technically, and
correct,
that she has to accommodate American interference is a different matter.
correct.
But it is vice president has taken over.
Correct.
And
Here
in the
too.
case
So
of,
she is a proxy, isn't it, sir?
she's not a
She's
proxy.
almost.
That's the point. No.
Uh-huh.
She was the vice president
Yes.
of Maduro's vice president.
Yes. Then she was not, but now, by the looks of it, she's almost kind of.
No, I wouldn't call her a proxy because you know
Sir.
that she has sent help to Cuba.
Mhm.
Okay, no, she's not a proxy.
Okay.
And she's standing up as much as she can. After all, there is diplomacy is the art of the possible.
Yes.
So she's standing up. And in the case of Iran, now, I said that air war you cannot capture, but even the air war, how long can it last? Because even some American experts are saying America can sort of carry on with this maybe 10 days. Then, those soldiers, sailors on the aircraft carrier, Gerald Ford and Abraham Lincoln, they will get exhausted. It's
Correct.
not that easy. You cannot carry on a war indefinite length, and the drones and missiles from Iran might perhaps continue to come. And don't forget, the Strait of Hormuz has been blockaded.
Mhm.
So oil prices are going to shoot up. Okay? And the Houthis have threatened, or they may have even begun to shut the entry to the Red Sea.
Let's see.
So global trade will be affected. Now, this is not a situation which is to the disadvantage of only Iran. It is a situation which is disadvantageous to Iran, to Israel, and to the United States. So who has the staying power? It's a question of war of attrition.
Correct. Sir, I have some visuals from Iran which I showed earlier on, and I have some visuals from Tel Aviv. So, if you give me a second, I'll just show it to our viewers right now, one after
Please.
another. This is the Iran shot. This is how Iran was looking a few hours back. People coming out on the street to support Khamenei and to mourn his death. And here is Tel Aviv right now. Sir, a very important question I wanted to ask you. We all know what Netanyahu wants out of this war. Netanyahu would want his own resurrection of his own political career, all his allegations, and so on and so forth. What does Trump want out of this war, sir?
Well, Trump, one thing is this: if you deploy military assets, and that too at such a long distance, it's about 6,000 miles, you know what I mean, from America.
Yes.
And then he cannot ask them to come back without using them. Because then the question will be asked, why did you send them? That's
Correct.
point number one. Point number two, as I said, Trump had made the wrong decision during his first term to walk out of the JCPOA, saying that it was the most stupid contract or agreement America ever entered into and all that. He was absolutely wrong, because under the JCPOA, which Obama, under his leadership, it was agreed to, Iran's nuclear activities were fully, totally under inspection by the IAEA. Then how can Iran make an atom bomb?
Correct.
You see? So Trump obviously wants something more than that. No enrichment at all. Stop all enrichment. Second, the missiles. Stop your missiles development. Third, give an undertaking that you will stop assisting what Americans call proxies. In my view, a wrong word, that is Hamas, Houthis, and Hezbollah. You see, Hezbollah was established to get Israel out of Lebanon. You know,
Correct.
it was not established by Iran. Iran supported it, but it was Israeli aggression against Lebanon that gave rise to Hezbollah.
Correct. Correct.
So there we are. So let us see how it turns out.
No,
You know
there is
something. You can start a war, but you can never know how it will go, because you start the war, but the other side also has a vote.
Absolutely. Sir, there's a very disturbing news. That's why I got a little distracted. There was a disturbing news that Iran says that their nuclear sites are still intact, 260 feet under the ground. So that's what the Iranian administration now says. Sir, is there a possibility of a nuclear war here?
No, I don't think so, because they have not made a nuclear weapon. And not only that, let us argue it out. Suppose they got one bomb.
Correct.
What will they do with it? If
Where will they put it?
Where will they put it? Even if they
Yes.
succeed in sending it with a, whatever, they don't have the means, But
Correct.
even if they manage, if they send one bomb, then Israel will strike back and finish off the whole of Iran.
Correct.
Saying that. So I don't think it's not a nuclear war, going to be a nuclear war. But if in the future, after X years, it is possible that Iran will start making bombs, and if they have got a certain number, then there's a different story. After all, why is North Korea safe? Because it has got bombs.
Correct, because it's got nuclear weapons. And
Exactly.
I think that seems to be the yardstick of safety, especially in the current world order. That seems to be the yardstick of safety. So unfortunate, isn't it, sir?
Yeah,
So unfortunate
unfortunately.
that you have to have a nuclear bomb to be safe. Sir, tell me, this Iran that was and Iran that is going to be. There has been three sets of Iran that we've seen, at least in our lifetime, yours and mine. First is the Iran which was governed by the Shah of Iran. Then we saw the Iran which was governed by the Ayatollah Khomeini regime, and then we saw now we are going to see a new Iran. Now, what is this Iran going to look like, sir?
Well, my wish is that there should be a democratic Iran. But we cannot be sure that the preconditions necessary for the emergence of democracy are there. The theocracy that is in Iran is still in a way solid. But I can think of another scenario. Through some means or other, the sanctions are lifted. Okay? In fact, that was one of the scenarios I had earlier envisaged. Iran concedes no enrichment. Iran concedes no missiles development. Iran concedes no help to the so-called proxies, and sanctions are lifted. In which case, Iranian economy will prosper, and when the economy prospers, more contacts with the rest of the world, and gradually the theocracy can get eroded, gradually. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And also, don't forget, it is the West which has stood in the way of Iran's becoming a democracy. I hope did we discuss it yesterday?
No, we haven't.
Okay, in 1953, Prime Minister Mossadegh nationalized the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, because they were taking all the profit. And then he got a constitution accepted by the Shah. That is, Shah will be there as head of state, but symbolic. The elected parliament and the cabinet approved by the parliament will have executive power, and that went on for a short while. Then London told Eisenhower, no, we have to use military force because we lost a lot of money. Eisenhower did not agree, but he permitted the CIA to arrange for a coup by bribing Iranian generals, and the whole cost was $10,000. 1953, $10,000. And the Shah, who had fled to Rome, he came back, and then he became what I may say the resident police inspector appointed by the United States for the region from
Correct.
1953 to 1979. So
Okay.
Iran would have been a democracy, but for the
Western
interference
interference.
from the West.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's such a hypocritic situation, sir. Sir, you see, even supposing, I'm just asking purely as a layman. Sir, supposing everything happens, these people get their way, they throw out the regime, they get their proxy regime or a regime that they want to happen. Assuming that happens, what exactly is going to change? Or assuming, like you rightly said, if assuming there is a democracy, there's a democratic government put into place, sir, what is going to change? Do you think Iranians are going to therefore support Israel and support Israel to take over Palestine? Is that going to happen? So, if everything happens, you kill thousands of more people, you destroy half of Iran, what are you actually going to achieve? You're actually going to make Iran, unless and until you force your leader, your proxy to be sitting in Iran, are you going to actually ensure that Iran tomorrow onward supports Palestine, supports Israel instead of Palestine? Is that going to happen?
No, it's not going to happen. Also, what I find is that political leaders, especially in the West, they are, what shall I say, they choose to be ignorant of history.
Correct.
Correct. They don't want to take the trouble to understand Iran, its history, its culture, and its people. And they think that every problem Americans think can be resolved by sending the Marines. Of course, in a more improved version of the Marines is, of course, the aircraft carrier. But it's the same thought, that military force can resolve problems. Now, that is very, very wrong.
Sir, there are visuals of the flag of Raza Shrine, that is Imam Raza Shrine, being changed, and black flags have been put by the Iranian administration. I'll just share that visual with our viewers. So much misery, sir. But interestingly, there are also visuals of people celebrating in Iran. By the way, there are celebrations that's also going on in Iran. Some quarters are celebrating the fall of Ayatollah Khomeini. So, like I said, I mean, you see, whether Ayatollah Khomeini was a good man, bad man, good leader, not good leader, I think that should be something that is left to Iranians to decide. If he has to be overthrown, I think Iranians should be thinking about it. I don't think America should be doing it. Sir, let me come to the most important part of our conversation. What is this? How is this going to impact India?
Yeah, but before I answer that question, let me make one point.
Sir.
Those Iranians who are mourning the Khamenei, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei,
Sir.
they have got there and they are taking the risk of getting killed because Israel can bomb them. You know what I mean?
Correct.
They are
Correct.
taking that risk. And that is
Correct.
Iranian mentality, which I had witnessed when I was there long time ago. You know,
Correct.
they just go and, in fact, there used to be processions where men will sort of form, hundreds of them will stand together, and they will be in white. What is the shroud in Iran? And they will tell the people behind, listen, if there is a firing, we will take it, but then you should start running away.
Oh.
That sort of, attitude. Now, coming to India,
Sir, sir, one supplementary question on that, sir. One supplementary question. I'm sorry, sir. You have been there. You've seen the people. You've seen the country. You represented India there. Tell me, sir, are the people really so upset with the Iranian regime, the Ayatollah Khomeini and Ayatollah Ali Khomeini regime?
well, it's like this, that regime had unnecessarily prescribed how women should dress themselves.
Correct.
Now that, of course, you remember there was a revolt and one young
Yes.
woman was killed and all that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is one thing. Secondly, when there is scarcity, there will be always corruption.
Correct.
Economic scarcity, then there will be corruption.
Correct.
But why is that scarcity? Because of the sanctions.
Correct.
That is why I want to say that it is President Trump who is primarily responsible for the mess that the Iranian economy is in. And he
Correct.
seems to derive malicious pleasure,
Absolutely.
which is terrible.
Which is terrible. Which is terrible. I want to go back to Venezuela. This is exactly what he did to Venezuela. Now he's
Yeah.
doing this to
And,
Iran and
and he is now wants to do it to Cuba.
Cuba. Absolutely.
Doing it, already started.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can't have oil. How can you? Now, as regards India, you must
Yes.
have seen report about our foreign minister talking to his counterparts in Israel and in Iran. Now,
Yes.
it is good. That is good diplomacy. But I
Yes.
just want to make an observation. Considering that Prime Minister Modi had expressed total solidarity with Israel now and forever, only 2 days ago, 3 days ago,
2 days.
considering
Yeah.
that, it is my view that Iranian foreign minister would not have spoken frankly with his Indian counterpart, because the Iranian would be worried that the Indian will immediately transmit to the Israeli.
Ah. Correct. Correct. So we have already now seen as taking sides. We are already seen as part of the
Absolutely,
American.
absolutely.
Something that we need to understand. You see, as country, as nation, as people, we need to understand that now today, officially, we are seen as standing with Israel and US aggression. We
Yeah,
are part, we've supported it, and we've supported it unconditionally and permanently, I guess. That is
yeah.
what has happened in our recent meeting. So, how much of how much can it damage us, sir, in terms of economy, in terms of our relationship with our Middle Eastern countries who we do trade and business with?
Well, let me put it this way. As far as the governments in the Arab world are concerned, even the GCC, frankly, they will not mind much what America is doing,
Correct.
as governments are concerned, but the people will mind. And to the extent the people mind, well, some corporate decision makers also may have reservations. And now the IMEC, India, Middle East, Europe corridor, economic
Correct.
corridor,
Economic corridor. Yes.
that's not going to work out. And
Correct.
Chabahar has been bombed.
Correct.
And not only have we invested in Chabahar, we also had projects for the so-called North-South international corridor, international, going all
Correct.
the way, all that is for the time being gone.
Correct. Sir, since you mentioned Chabahar, that was my next question to you. Sir, we in our budget we have not allocated any budget for Chabahar, so we were very clear about that. Now, did India know that something of this sort is going to happen? Did India know that there would be an attack? Did India know that America and Israel had already planned it? Did India know that Trump was buying time by negotiating with Iran just so that they can be prepared to attack it? Was it? Did India know?
Well, it seems India did not know. But let me ask a counter question.
Sir,
Did Prime Minister Netanyahu tell his dear friend Prime Minister Modi that he was going to do this? Did he or did he not?
correct,
You see?
correct,
And as regards India standing as the leader of the global south, that standing will not be enhanced by pledging total solidarity with Israel.
correct, correct, correct. Sir, my last two questions: how is Russia and China going to react?
Well, they have done what they can diplomatically at the United Nations Security Council.
Mhm.
I do not expect them to intervene militarily, by sending weapons now. They may have sent something last month. That is a different
Correct,
matter. But I
correct,
do not expect them to send any military support now.
correct.
And it's also surprising, China had signed a contract with Iran to invest in projects in the energy sector and infrastructure to the tune of $400 billion after the JCPOA was agreed to in
Yes,
2015. And
yes.
Xi Jinping had also visited. Now, we do not know how much of that money has been invested, but we take it. When you look at the time period, a certain amount would have
Substantial
been.
money has been invested, sir. Substantial money has been
Now,
invested.
so my question is, China could have financially come to the aid of Iran when the Iranian rial was, sort of in free fall. But China didn't do that.
Correct. But sir, isn't that strange? Because China, there's huge amount of investment that is they put into Iran. Now, Russia doesn't have that kind of investment in Iran. So yeah, one can understand Russia would be more of political than of financial. But China is both political and financial. So why is China not openly standing with Iran?
Well, China is diplomatically standing with Iran. But the
Militarily,
question, pardon?
militarily.
Militarily, I don't think, no, they can't intervene now. They won't do that.
Why wouldn't they, sir? To just for my
No,
understanding.
that means you are looking at a big war. After, how do they intervene? They'll have to send their ships, or they will have to send their aircraft, which America has 2 aircraft carriers. They will shoot down. So it will be an actual war between China and the United States.
I
Now,
agreed. I understand that.
so they don't want that, and that is wise. That is wise. You see,
Perfect.
this guy, Trump has set fire to the region, but you don't have to add fuel to it. It's already burning.
Correct.
It's already bad.
But are you of the opinion that China is in a way covertly supporting Iran, or could covertly support Iran the way they supported Pakistan during Operation Sindoor? Do you think China is going to do that?
No,
Something they
because
have to do, sir.
no, you have to look at the geography.
Hmm.
In the case of Pakistan, thanks to the Pakistan-China economic corridor, it's also easy.
Correct.
But for China to send anything to Iran, look at the geography. No, they can't. Without Americans seeing it, knowing it, and sort of doing what they want. They can bomb it.
Perfect.
So it is not practically possible unless you want an all-out war, which I think
Correct.
China is wise in avoiding.
Sir, is there a remote possibility of a all-out war?
I doubt it, because both Moscow and Beijing are more, they behave more responsibly than Washington.
Absolutely. So, you think this is another few days and that will be it? We will see
A
some
few
kind of a
days,
resolution.
few weeks, we don't know, but
Okay,
for a while.
for a while. Sir, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time, sir. And it's such
You
a pleasure
always,
talking to
always
you.
a pleasure. Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you, sir. Thanks.
After
Sir.
the recording stops, I want to talk to you.
Sure, sir. I mean, I think I just want to then take 1 minute just to show some visuals, and then we can end this recording.
Yeah,
Just give me a
yeah.
minute for this.
انا لله و انا الیه راجعون. ملت بزرگ ایران، روح بلند پیشوای ملت بزرگ ایران و پیشقراول امت اسلامی حضرت امام خامنه ای با نوشیدن شهد گوارای شهادت در ماه مبارک رمضان به ملکوت اعلا پیوست. شورای عالی امنیت ملی در این زمینه بیانیه‌ای به این شهر صادر کرده است.
Sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
And
you.
it's such a pleasure.
After the recording stops, we will talk.